Going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and today we're taking a look at the latest release from ElphaPex, the DG Hydro 1. And to me, I think this miner is a huge disappointment. All right, guys, before you flood the comment section with a whole bunch of hate mail, because I know so many people are probably going to be pumping the crap out of this thing, saying how awesome it is and things like that, when I highly don't think so. So we do know, I cater to home crypto miners, guys. When I mean home crypto miners, we have power prices higher than 15-cent power. Personally, I'm at 11, 12-cent power. I have cheaper than a lot of people. And there's a lot of people that actually have cheaper power than me. But you also have home infrastructure running out of your houses. You have to update your power. And a lot of home miners don't have that. Yeah, sure, some people have 200 amps, 400 amps, and so on. But the majority out there, they're living off 100 amps, maybe 60 amps, and things like that. And infrastructure is expensive. Now, the main thing here, a lot of people, we're in a FOMO drive right now. Things are looking pretty freaking awesome and amazing, and profitability is high, but we do the majority of our mining also in bear markets. What that means is prices are going to be down and efficiency is key here. So with those kind of points in light here, let's actually run the numbers and show you why this miner isn't really that great. All right, so let's just start with the initial specs and stuff. 20 gigahash, that's nice. That's 4 gigahash more than the 16 gigahash L9 and 3 gigahash more than the 17 gigahash version. This is using about 6,200 watts of power. That is quite a bit of power here, guys, and that's a major reason why I'm not really liking this. We're going to jump into the efficiencies and stuff right soon, kind of compare this, and over here we can see that here we have versus their home miner, the 2.1 gigahash version that's 620 watts. That is 3.38 megahash per watt of power used, which means you're getting little over 3 megahash here per 1 watt of power. Obviously, that's better than Gold Shell. Gold Shell fails at everything they seem to do here. We have the ElphaPex DG Hydro 1. This is the miner we're looking at right now. 20 gigahash, 6,200 watts, 3.22 megahash per watt of power used, which is slightly less efficient than the home miner right here, and obviously a lot less efficient than the L9 at 4.76. Now, when it comes to this guy right here, the home miner, this is, I feel, going to be one of their most popular miners for the home miners, as it's quiet. It doesn't use too much power, only 620 watts for 2.1 gigahash. Efficiency is pretty close here, but the major thing is once you start using this amount of power, it really starts to suck. So coming in, doing a quick profitability check, we are doing almost $70 a day right now on this miner here, and this does use about $17.85 a day in power if you have about 12 cents per kilowatt hour as a baseline. Now, you got to remember, we're going to be moving back into a bear market, and the Litecoin hash rate has been going up like absolute crazy. If we look back in 2021, we're sitting right here. Now, we're leading into the next bull market here, and things are skyrocketing like crazy. So I expect the hash rate to be at least 2 petahash by the time we do hit the next bear market here. We're sitting at about 1.5. So it could greatly be quite a bit above 2 petahash. And I just did some numbers on 2 petahash, and it could be a lot worse. We have a lot more people making miners this cycle for Script and Dogecoin. We still have some other ones that haven't yet released, and I expect a lot more to start releasing here very soon as well. But coming in at 2 petahash and coming back down, we expect Doge could drop back down to around the 12-cent range again. Litecoin will be sitting around $50, and who the heck cares about bells, because it's not paying us anything anyway at this point. But that's making only $18.14 a day in the next bear market. That's only 29-cent profit at 12-cent power. Now, that's using 6,200 watts. You can be making around 29-cent profit, say example, on a single CPU for 130 watts. You times that by about 47, which is the same amount of hardware it would take to get to 6,200 watts. That could be $13 a day in profit for the same amount of power. Meaning, why would you want to run 6,200 watts for only 29-cent profit? Now coming into the current profitability chart, if you have 1 cent power, you know it's looking pretty good. Now this is only saying it's making $45 a day. It is currently making quite a bit more. I don't know why ASIC miner value has their numbers off so much. The L9 is making, you know, over $70 a day right now. But point here is we can see the ElphaPex DG1 Hydro 1 cent power is in first place here at $45.99, followed by the L9 17 gigahash version at $39.50. So if I actually move this power up, let's move this into 12 cent power range right now, and we can already see that it's no longer in first place. The L9, because it's a more efficient miner, is a more profitable miner after power. We start moving this up to 15 cent power, we can now see that miner is starting to fall behind here. We have the 16 gigahash beating it, as well as the Volk miner D1. And then if you start going to like 25 cent plus power here, this thing is now down to only $10 a day currently, $8, almost $9 less than what the L9 is currently doing. So the more expensive your power here, the less that miner starts looking better and better. And depending on the price, I'm also expecting it to probably be on par, maybe even more expensive than an L9, because everyone likes to flood in and just think, oh, 20 gigahash, that's freaking awesome. But in fact, it's using way too much power for the actual hash rate that it's getting. In theory, if you just doubled up, you know, you should be getting 32 gigahash here from 2 L9s and using just a couple hundred watts more than what one of these 20 gigahash miners. That's where efficiency definitely comes in here. It's just not looking good. Now, yeah, some people have very cheap power and we don't know the price of it or anything, but if you have cheap power, it's definitely looking like a good miner for scale. You know, you have the infrastructure already, then, you know, it's great for that type of stuff. But for most of us miners that watch this channel, this is not a miner that's going to be on anyone's list, because you're not going to be running this for the majority of the next bear market because you won't be able to afford it. So this is just my quick 2 cents on this miner. Obviously, I don't think it looks good. I would not buy this thing myself personally. I don't have the infrastructure for it for the most part. If I did get it, I would have to shut down pretty much everything just to run it. And then when it comes to the next bear market, it's just not looking too hot. The other thing is, I highly don't recommend liquid cooling for crypto mining in general. That's a lot more moving parts, more expensive to fix. And on top of that, the slightest liquid leak and your entire miner will fry. Unlike a nice air-cooled fan or something, which yes, is louder, but you can do a simple fan swap and be up and running again. Now I did run one more number here and we can see the boost over the L9. So we can see, you know, 20 gigahash between 16 gigahash, that's 4 gigahash, 6200 watts, 3360, that is 2740 watts. So you're getting a 4 gigahash boost over the L9 for 2740 watts. That means that efficiency boost over it is coming in at a number worse than even any crappy gold shell miner at only 1.45 megahash per watt of power used. That is absolutely horrible for just 4 gigahash. Well, guys, that pretty much does wrap up this video here. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section. But one more thing I do want to point out is this is obviously not geared towards any home miner at all, as it's looking like you're going to need 380 to 480 volt, 3-wire plus ground. So that's like a 4-pole type of thing. So this is 3-phase, 4-pole type of plugs here with an input of 10 kilowatts. So home miners, you're not going to be running this at your house. This is obviously geared to large type of mining firms here with cheap power and stuff. I don't know, is Marathon Digital now planning on mining some Dogecoin or something? Hey, it's possible. See, now Kaspa is bombing on them, but I guess we'll see what happens moving forward. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.